Welcome, Internet, to a momentous day where I boldly go where no other YouTuber has ever gone, where I create content so unique and so fresh, you will have no idea what to do with yourself after consuming said content. Welcome to the Q&A video.
Favorite non-metal genre?
Probably ska, or I've been listening to a lot of Bon Iver, big fan of that. People hate on John Mayer a lot, but I'm a big fan of John Mayer.
What's your favorite part of touring, other than performing?
I generally kind of live a sort of unstructured lifestyle, so I really appreciate the you have to get up, you have to do this at this time, you have to do this at this time that touring brings me. I guess the sort of contrast of driving through a really boring place and then ending up in somewhere super beautiful where you can kind of take in the sights and really appreciate nature and the world for what it is, I very much enjoy.
If you could play in any band, who would it be?
I think P-Funk would be pretty fun. And, Meshuggah.
Real amps or modelers?
Both. I really like my Axe-Fx 2. The Kemper is really sweet, and I really want to mess with a Victory Amps Kraken. Shout out to Mr. Bia. We toured with Tosca, and he used two of them in parallel, and he had some of the best live tone I've ever heard. 10 out of 10.
Does your art create you further than you create it?
I really hope not. Because all of my art is really depressing and apocalyptic and angsty. So I really hope that I create the art and it doesn't create me.
Why do you gravitate towards extended range guitars?
I think they're just more comfortable. I'm a pretty big dude, I got pretty big hands, so it just kind of feels better, I guess. Although I do think it's interesting because I'll play either 6-string or 8-string. I don't really have too much interest for like a 7-string in the middle, just because I feel like you might as well, if you're adding an extra string, you might as well add 2 extra strings. But I also have big dumb hands, so.
If you could go back and change something about being a blooming musician,
I would probably tell myself to shut up.
how do I get noticed with so many other people doing the same thing I want to do?
Do it more. Do it more, do it more. Post your stuff all over the place, post regularly, get into the social media game, make sure you're really hitting that. Basically, just try and hit every single source that you can. Don't live on one medium. Make sure that you're branching out.
Come to India, maybe?
I would love to. I'm also very afraid of airplanes, so I think that would be a really unenjoyable travel for me, but I would love to do it.
How is your hair ever changing yet always perfect?
Have you ever tried not showering for a couple days?
Hey Drewsif, love your music. Do you have tabs for purchase? Been wanting to learn augury.
I am working on tabs. My stuff is really difficult to tab out, and I am fatally terrible at using Guitar Pro. So, it's coming. I promise.
Final pressing of Anadonia one day?
I would like to do vinyl pressings of my albums, and I have a little clever idea that I might move on soon. If you guys actually have interest in vinyl, please shoot me a message, because it's really expensive to make, and the more people I know, the more quickly I can make them.
Your thoughts on headless guitars / multi-scale guitars? Do they actually feel better?
I love headless guitars, especially I got that Strandberg over there, the Bowden Classic. They travel so freaking well. I came back home from my UK tour and I straight up just put it in the overhead bin. No complaints, no nothing, didn't take up too much space. It was amazing. And as for multi-scale, there's like essentially no adjustment period, I think. And I think it really is very comfortable.
Are you gonna put up any more covers? I freaking love your DSME stuff. I just miss your covers, my dude.
Yep, I'm gonna do it. I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I do have more covers that I'm gonna be putting up.
How many New Balance sneakers do you need to green up before becoming a real-life dad?
One pair. You need one pair of New Balance sneakers, one pair of cut-off jean shorts, and one apron.
Are certain guitars better for riffing versus lead/soloing, or is that amps and pickups mainly?
I definitely prefer longer scale guitars for riffing. I have a double slit over there that's 29.5 scale, and it sounds angry as balls for riffs and stuff.
Favorite bands growing up?
Slipknot, Rammstein, Fear Factory, Korn, Black Dahlia Murder, and probably Necrophagist.
Would you like to come to Russia with a concert?
Yes.
How does it feel when you connect with people from the whole world through your music?
It is one of my favorite things. Having people come up to me at shows and people send me messages and tell me that I've gotten them through rough times, that kind of thing, it's really heartwarming and it makes it feel like it's worth it.
Would you care to explain the meaning or stories behind Anhedonia or any of your songs?
Depression. Lots and lots of depression.
As an artist and a person, how do you personally feel about your music and all the work you've done?
Every time I put out a release, I hate the last release a little bit more. No, but I'm really proud of my last two albums for the Drewsif stuff and the TABP XDSME album I really like, and the To the Arc, and it's really just my early releases with the Drewsif stuff is, at this point in my opinion, like really cringy. But
What's your guilty pleasure band?
no music is a guilty pleasure, thank you very much. But probably Marianas Trench.
What made you want to start learning guitar? And does it strike you that you've got fans now?
I really didn't have a reason why I started playing guitar. I picked up a bass when I was 9, and according to my mom, I said, I'm gonna play bass so I can pick up chicks, which worked really well for me in my life. So, you know, bassists get all the chicks. I think it's really weird that I have fans. I guess it does strike me, yeah, but it's like, I've always just been some random dude making noise and recording it in the basement and stuff, and I just kind of happened to jump on a couple of things while they were fresh and that sort of thing, and I don't know, but it's cool that people are interested in it and they're following it and that kind of thing. So you watching this right now, thank you very much for your interest in some capacity, even if you're just watching because you think this is a train wreck and that I need to shut up or something.
What's the heaviest riff you've ever heard in standard tuning?
Does Flying Whales count? Can we count D standard tuning? Gojira's Flying Whales? Because I think that's probably the heaviest thing that's ever happened in any song.
What's your fondest memory of being a professional musician?
So one time back in my high school days, I was playing with my high school metalcore band, and we were playing the song October 11th, which you can go listen to on Spotify so that you can understand what I'm saying. And we were playing this place called the Mount Airy Fire Hall, which was like this little VFW, essentially, that this dude would rent out and then have a bunch of bands play and stuff. So we're playing October 11th, and I'm bouncing around like an idiot, as I always do. And I slammed my head into my vocalist Tim Bubb by accident, and I black out. And according to everybody, I still played the rest of the stuff perfectly fine and correctly, and I was still moving around and going crazy and all that stuff. But, you know, so we're coming up to the chorus or whatever. I hit my vocalist with my head, I black out, and then I come to during the big old build-up to the breakdown. And there's just like half of the venue is like going crazy, swinging arms and stuff. And it's just like that feeling to have people that connected and that intensely reacting to your music and enjoying it that much is like, I think, what it's really all about. And moments similar to those will happen at shows, and it's the best.
How many strings do you consider necessary and or perfect for your personal style of playing?
I really like 8 strings. I do most of my stuff sort of 7-string centric, like bottom couple of strings. So like I play most things like it would be on a 7-string guitar, and then I like having the extra E below that so that I can really get icky and ugly. And you'll see that a bunch of times in Anedonia. There's a song in A and there's a song in A, and then it does the 5th below for a big, scary, ugly, heavy part. And I really like doing that. But also, I've written some of my favorite stuff, like the To the Arc stuff, I wrote that on 6 strings. So I think it's situational, I would say.
What bands and artists do you look up to that aren't in the metal genre? And which ones influence your own art?
As I said, I'm a really big fan of Bon Iver, so I've been kind of following what they've been doing. I'm a big City and Colour fan. Both of those definitely influence my art, and James Blake as well. Kind of from like the sort of minimalistic singer-songwriter kind of thing.
If any band could offer you a position as a member, who would you want to join?
Maybe like a Muir or something. I think playing with Josh Travis, with how he moves and how I move, would be ridiculously fun and really enjoyable for myself and the world.
If you could do a collaboration with any other artist from any other band, who would it be?
I would say probably Josh Travis or like Buster from Humanity's Last Breath.
Quick! Your house is on fire and you have 20 minutes to save your gear. What are you getting?
If I have 20 minutes to save my gear, I probably can save all my gear. Pretty much just have an Axe FX2 and a couple of guitars and some cables. That's pretty much it.
How did you start actually making a somewhat living off of music?
I did this one by mistake. I just keep releasing music and putting out content and that kind of stuff, and I just kind of fell into, from putting stuff on Bandcamp to putting stuff on DistroKid. And DistroKid is the best, by the way. Big shout outs to DistroKid. If you want your music on a online store, DistroKid is the way to do it. But between those two and then the YouTube stuff paying me and like just kind of falling into other music related jobs, I didn't do it on purpose. I just did the stuff that I wanted to do and it happened to pay me, which is pretty cool.
Other than music, what other passion/hobby do you enjoy doing?
I am a big fan of drinking coffee all day, every day. So a lot of times, whenever I drive somewhere new, I just Google Maps coffee shop. I just get myself a little latte and see how I like it. I'm also a big old video games guy. Doom 2016 is pretty much the best video game ever, maybe next to The Last of Us. I used to be a really, really hardcore PC gamer. I make custom skins and stuff in Counter-Strike, and I watch a lot of horror movies. I think there are a few things better than a nice horror movie. And I like making horror movies and also music videos and stuff, but I guess that kind of fits in the same realm, so.
How many layers of lasagna is too many?
If you can fit it in the building, it's not too many layers.
Is there a software that lets me use a series of different amps? If so, which one is the best?
Well, you've got Easy Mix, which I'm a huge fan of. I use it on pretty much all of my demos before I go back and reamp with an Axe FX. Some of the Tone Forge stuff is technically not different amps, but there's a lot you can do with them. They're super versatile and I think they sound great. And I think Will Putney just came out with something with STL tones. I'm actually really interested in trying that out. Maybe I can get my hands on it and I can put a little demo on here.
What camera do you use for shooting?
I'm shooting this right now on a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, which is a really nice little 16mm film kind of a thing. And as of late, I've, no joke, just been using iPhones. I have this iPhone XS Max, and then I have a 7 Plus over there, so I can get multiple angles and stuff, and I've been really enjoying it. I use an app called Filmic Pro, which lets me shoot in a higher bit rate, and then I can shoot in log, nerd warning, so that I can then go in color grading and make it look fancier.
How do you find the balance between working on yourself and being overly critical because it's you?
That one is just kind of a battle that I think you fight. I'm often super critical of myself whenever I try to learn new things, and I think it's just important to remember that it's totally reasonable that you could, fail a couple times, and that's all right. As long as you keep trying it, if you like it. And if you don't like it, then maybe you don't need to do it, I guess. Something.
Favorite thing about making music?
Taking your money. No, I like making something that I want to hear, I guess, and bringing things into reality. Helping people with their vision of some kind of song that then corporealizes, and then I put little sprinkles of finishing touches and stuff, and I really like it. I just said I really like it, so I guess I just like music in general. Thank you all very much for joining me in round 1 of Q&A. If you like this video, press subscribe, like, follow me, blah, 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 blah. You can get some stuff on Drewsif.com/store. You can get some music or news or whatever you want on just Drewsif.com. Follow me on Instagram, please, at It's Drewsif. Follow me on Twitter at It's Drewsif. Follow me on Facebook on Facebook.com/It's Drewsif. It's just in case you were wondering, it's Drewsif. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you tell your dad that he's nice.